my very first night on the job, I was in the emergency room, and there was a young gay man who came in short of breath. And at the time, I went to the emergency room physician, what do we do with this man? And she says, oh, he's just anxious, give him a paper bag to breathe in, which I did, and clearly that didn't help. And so I went into doctor mode and did an x-ray, and this man had a terrible pneumonia. And boy, it was out of keeping for a young man to have such bad pneumonia. So we called down the specialist in lung disease, and he says, oh, I bet you this guy has AIDS. And I was in horror. I said, what is AIDS? And I just finished medical school. I'd never heard of this disease. And I went home in tears that night. My very first night on the job as a doctor, and I saw a patient with a disease I'd never even heard of, and changed my life. And from that day forward, I have devoted my career to research, education, and care of people living with HIV. And then along the way, clearly, I shifted my interest a little bit to dealing with women living with HIV. And you look at HIV through the world, half the people living with HIV are women. And people look at it, that's a gay man's disease. And it's not just the treatment part, but it's the psychosocial part. And many men living with HIV have a community of men that they know. They know about HIV, but for women it's different. And many women living with HIV don't know anybody else with HIV. Well, I think anybody dealing with HIV would love a cure and love a vaccine. And I think if we can learn anything from the COVID pandemic is if you put money behind something, it can happen.